What's up, and welcome to another episode, Master Moats Film Session. And today, we got to talk about this Packers game. Some good stuff that happened in there offensively and defensively that we should highlight, that we should feel good about. But then there were some negatives that took place in there that we also have to address and clean up and get it off our tape if we want to continue going in the right direction. All right, it is literally that simple, okay? But you know the drill. I ain't gonna be before you long. So hit that like button. Don't forget to subscribe and hit the notification bell as well. I don't want you to miss when we drop in the way that we drop it. And if you're not a member, strongly encourage you to become one so you could get the full breakdown and not just the condensed version. But either way, let's get it rolling. All right, so in this first play, we get a chance to see my man Aaron Rodgers just being a nice playmaker, man. This would start the game off, right? You see him out the shotgun, man, good protection. But as a whole, man, this is what you want to see. The old man can still move around a little bit, still got a little juice in his arm, right? So we like all of that to start the game off, man. But now let's talk about some of the details of it, right? So when we pause it and we look at it from the sideline copy, we see first off, we are in 11 personnel, meaning one running back, that's Jaylen Warren. He's to the left, right next to Broderick Jones. We got the tight end, Pat Frymouth, on the right hash, offense's right hash, on that one. And then everybody else is wide receivers. DK is all the way at the top of the screen to your left. Calvin Austin is in the slot in the right or bottom of the screen. And then you have Roman Wilson, who had a nice night. And this was the first play to get it started off. Now, defensively, you can see Packers in a too high look, man, but they're giving some pre-snap looks, right? Walking the safety down, moving guys around, the illusion of a double team. All it is cover one, man. That's literally it. You pause it 2 seconds after the play snaps. It's cover one hold. The whole defender is the low guy by the 30-yard line. But that's all that is. And you got the safety down by the logo, right? That's all that is. Everybody else is matched up one-on-one, mano-a-mano. So protection-wise, man, it's just four guys up front. They do a good job. But Rodgers escapes the contain, and that allows Roman Wilson time to get down the grass. And then Roman does a good job of just extending the play. He feels like he's stacking this corner on the outside release, so he starts to throw his hand up. And then from there, once he sees Rodgers makes a nice throw to give him a chance, he just breaks off of that, and he's not a robot. He's trying to make plays. That's what you want to see. When we look at the end zone copy of it, right? You get a chance to see the protection. I like, once again, us using Jaylen Warren with that subtle shift outside to see if anyone travels with him. You see 56 does. Boom, I got my man indicator, but also his location. It helps with who? 77 blocking what number? 1. Micah Parsons, bad man. So these are some of the subtle things that Arthur Smith did in concert with Pat Meyer to ultimately disrupt Micah Parsons in this fierce pass rush. And it worked to perfection on this play right here. Excellent job with the throw. Nice job by Roman Wilson making the catch. And that's how you start the game off, man, with some explosive production. All right, so now we got to talk again about what went wrong, okay? So on this particular play, man, this is the explosive reception from Tucker Kraft late in the game that really hurt us, right? So defensively, man, Terrell Austin switches it up. I know people don't like to hear that, but he did, okay? We typically don't blitz. We like to just play coverage and play zone or just rush 4. But on this one, we blitz, man, and we hug rush, right? So it's 5 guys plus Peyton Wilson, all right? In terms of the LBs, one is on the running back. The other guy's just blitzing as well with everybody else, okay? So you can see where you get the man-to-man element post-snap. But this is the unique part about, at this level, man, good on good. Sometimes you have good defense and it's better offense. So before you get the motion, right, if we just pause it from the wide screen, you got 3-by-1 bunch, okay? 3 receivers to the top, 1 receiver to the bottom of the screen. Running back is offset to the weak side of the offense's formation. So it's making us play this thing honest, right? So at the top of the screen, before the motion happens, it's declared, man, Jalen Ramsey is on the point. That most forward wide receiver, and then JPJ and Chuck Clark, they'll be on the 2 receivers that are behind, right? I believe that is Christian Watson on the outside, and then Tucker Kraft is the inside wide receiver. So it's simple. Now you get the motion. The motion does what? It takes Jalen Ramsey out of it, who was on the point initially because we wanted him manned up with Christian Watson, right? Their best wide receiver. So now you see JPJ and Chuck Clark communicating together about how they want to play these two wide receivers who are still in a stack alignment. Now, the stack alignment does what? It makes it where you can't get hands on the tight end, and that first wide receiver does a good job of vertically releasing through the DB. And right there, man, Chuck Clark, he shuffle stays square because he's trying to, not get beat outside. But the unfortunate part is Tucker Kraft isn't trying to go outside, and the safety also gets a little bit too far outside to the left, and that's what allows, Tucker to make this catch and then just outrun the rest of the defense. But that's, the execution part offensively. If I'm going to coach it up defensively, I would just say after the motion from Jalen Ramsey, get up, press the point of this thing, man, because obviously JPJ and him are working together, and in and out in it is what we call it, right? JPJ has the most outside receiver. Chuck Clark has the most inside receiver. But if you want to make it more defined and more, it has to be declared right now, just get up and press it, man. Or you could get up and just communicate, lock it, man. I got this guy, you have that guy. Yes, there's going to be some nastiness to that, but it'll clean it up for you defensively. The flip side is this: if Chuck Clark is going to play it as aggressively as he did in terms of shuffling to declare outside leverage, and he's doing that because he has safety help, 22 in between the hashes, right? So he knows my help is inside, so I don't want to get beat to the outside. If you're going to do that, then the safety has to be a little bit slower getting out of the middle of that field. I know he did it because he felt like 87 was climbing on JPJ running that corner route, but by him bailing out the middle of the field like that, he essentially aborts the help that Chuck Clark thought he had. And that's just what you get when you are working with, the depth guys of your rotation. We know that, Deshaun Elliott went down earlier in this game, and that had an impact. That changed, the rotation, and you could just see how those two guys in terms of 21 and 22, not on the same page, not technically as clean as the other guys that typically are out there in these situations. You can see it even clear from the end zone copy. Communication is fine pre-snap. Communication is good, but you could just see 22 gets a little bit too far to the left, and Kraft does a really good job, man, of utilizing that pick off of the wide receiver's release, and it just outruns, and just outruns Chuck Clark right there, man. So that's why I say good defense. We were on the same page. The call is fine. I like the changeup. I like the blitz to make the ball come out fast, but that's the execution part from the secondary, and that's the personnel part as well when we're just talking about the difference of athletes and the difference of technique and who we view as, our starters or our main guys versus guys that we say are role players. Now, this play I'm super excited about because it's very promising for multiple reasons. Protection, QB play, young receiver, right? We get all of that on this play right here, and it's the Roman Wilson touchdown that took place in the game. So coverage wise, man, you got cover 4 from Green Bay. You can see, man, the 4 deep defenders for the shell coverage, right? The 2 safeties, 2 outside corners, everybody standing on top of it. You can see even underneath with the 3 linebackers right at the 15-yard line, or the 2 linebackers in the nickel corner staying at the 15. So they're playing it as a true traditional zone, right? Not matching it like some teams like ourselves do, okay? So with that, I love the fact that we match, and we get the perfect call for this coverage, man. In the sense of you getting a control route in front to make those safeties have to react and come up. And then from there, you got the beautiful, beautiful deep in breaking cut. My man Roman Wilson on the outside of this thing, man. But this is a nice call right here, man. And like I said, man, when you know or you feel like, you got a higher probability of getting cover 4, this is perfect because for Calvin Austin, who's the slot receiver to the offense's left, right to the top of the screen, his whole purpose is to get deeper than the linebackers or the nickel corner in this case, right, who's at the 15-yard line, but shallower than that safety who's going to be around the hash mark. So you could see after he got deeper than the corner, he starts to break this thing in, and that makes the safety have to react. If the safety doesn't react, Aaron Rodgers is going to hit this. He's going to throw it right to Calvin Austin. That's the same on the other side as well. You look at where Pat Freiermuth starts at. His job is to get deeper than the corner or the linebacker right here, who's a quarter flat defender. And then from there, his job is to be shallow than the safety. And you can see where that safety also does what? Reacts up, because if that safety doesn't come up, 88 is wide open. Only difference is DK stayed outside at the bottom of the screen, whereas Roman Wilson broke across and started to come back across the middle of the field. And then from there, Rodgers just uses his playmaking ability, hits him right in the hands, and excellent job by Roman giving us about 30 steps before they actually called it a touchdown. Now, let's zoom in on the end zone copy, because I know people are going to hate this, man, because Broderick Jones is one-on-one versus Micah Parsons. I know we can't do that because Broderick is deplorable. He's terrible. He's atrocious. What does that look like? Was that a pancake? Wait a minute. He even had time to thumbs up the referee. Lord have mercy. How you do that, Sam? Wait a minute. How you done that? That's one-on-one versus the baddest man. That's the highest paid. Excellent job, though. I love it, baby. I love it. But across the board, man, nice protection on this, man. Zach Frazier pre-snap communicating, letting them know, hey, man, I like this part of it. Wins his one-on-one. Everybody does their job. And then, like I said, man, Rodgers drops a dime. Middle of the field. Beautiful work. Beautiful work. So you can see, man, a lot to be excited about with this team still after, these two games where they've, not looked the best for 4 quarters. But offensively, man, we are doing some good things with the protection. Rodgers is looking good. Defensively, you can see the concepts that we are putting out there and where our playmakers are making some of those plays. But you can still see where we got to be better. But you guys let me know in the comment section what stood out to you the most. Offensively, defensively, and more importantly, what are you looking forward to seeing going forward? But either way, I appreciate you for tuning in. Don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe. And until next time, baby, peace.